The Motocompo was bundled with the Honda City from the early 80s, and they sold about 50,000 of them during its small run of just a couple of years. But it's become a cult classic, absolutely. This foldable, stowable, tiny scooter that fits in the back of your little Honda hatchback. And in 2020, I discussed Honda's trademark for a new Motocompo called the MotoCompacto. Fast forward 3 years later, and it's finally coming to the market. Let's go. New Honda Motocompacto e-scooter redefines personal urban mobility as sleek, simple, and uniquely foldable. Let's get into the highlights here of this super cute, modern, all-electric take on an early 80s Honda Motocompo. They're calling it fun to ride, first and last mile. Well, those miles are only 12. This thing only has a range of 12 miles, which doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't have pedals. It's not a motorcycle or an e-bike. It is like an e-scooter that tops out at 15 miles an hour, charges in 3.5 hours on a standard 110 volt. It is available to purchase starting in November through motocompacto.honda.com or Honda or Acura dealers. Like I've been telling you guys for a while, and I talked to other colleagues within the industry too, saying like Honda, Toyota, they could be absolutely crushing it if they offered smaller mobility devices in their dealerships or even direct to buy from websites. I mean, you guys know I've been reviewing e-bikes on the channel. They're a lot of fun. It gives me a nice little hobby to chew on while I'm not doing car stuff. And if Honda and Toyota get their feet wet in this, it's game on. I'm going to get one of these things. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to drop a G on one so I can do testing and play around with it. It's a direct drive permanent magnet. It's also front wheel drive from my understanding. 490 watts is not a lot of power, guys. This thing is probably going to get smoked by most of my e-bikes, which have 1,000 peak motor, 1,000 watt peak motor, or about 750 continuous. Maybe if you guys want, I'll do some drag races between the Motocompacto and some of the e-bikes I have. That'd be kind of fun. Almost 12 pound-feet of torque on this guy. Oh, there it says front wheel drive. Max speed 15 miles an hour. Battery capacity just 6.8 amp hours. We already talked about the range of 12 miles, charging 3.5 hours. Wheelbase, a massive 29.2 inches. They also have the folded length here of just 29 inches, folded height of 21 inches, width of 3.7 inches, seat height of 24.5 inches, which really short people will be able to definitely mount this thing. And it weighs, guys, drum roll, it weighs only 41 pounds. This is less than the tiny e-bike that I reviewed recently in the channel that I actually stuck in the back of an Integra. And it is essentially that sort of e-bike that I just tested, which that e-bike topped out around 15 miles an hour as well. That e-bike was half the price, but definitely not as desirable of this. This is definitely style on wheels, definitely customizable. Last couple details here that I haven't covered yet. There is a phone app that enables riders to adjust their personal settings, including lighting and ride modes via Bluetooth. That's interesting. It uses a robust heat-treated aluminum frame and wheels, bright LED headlight and taillight, side reflectors, and welded steel lock loop on the kickstand that is compatible with most bike locks. To enhance the joy of ownership, a fun and functional line of branded Motocompacto accessories will be available, including a helmet, backpack, apparel, and more. Can't wait to see what that looks like. Hopefully it has some retro vibes to it as well. Have I asked you guys to smash the like button for the Motocompacto and for Honda jumping out of their comfort zone, giving people that like cult classic return, that retro tastiness? I'm really floored by this. Look at the design. I bet it only comes in white. Would they come out with like special editions with Honda racing stripes or with the, the Honda wings on it? That would be epic. But look at this thing. We have a headlight, also some charging indication lights as well. Pop out foot pegs, tiny kickstand, Honda stamped into the side. They branded it perfectly because when you're riding it, your legs should keep the Honda logo visible for people who are wondering what the hell you're riding. Also, they have Honda on the front of it, which this looks like to be a little carrying strap or something. I love the tan seat and the tan handlebars. Single brake here for The brakes, I don't know if there's front and rear brakes on this. I don't know if they communicated that, but there's just one brake pedal on it. Let's keep going through the images. Look at it from the side. Looks so freaking cool. From the top, you can see just how narrow this thing is. Simple gauge here. Headlights are on. 1 or 2. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe that's the top speed. Maybe you can lock it into first or second gear. I don't know. Maybe I'll see you guys down below what you think 1 and 2 means. There are no turn indicators. This is your throttle here, I would guess. You this little thumb throttle here. And of course your battery indicator. We have a little bell. Oh my gosh, this is not some annoying like that I have on a lot of my e-bikes, a little electronic buzzer. This looks like to be a real flick bell that is super cute. All right, let's fold this thing up. What does it look like? Okay, what? Oh, all right, let's look at the inside. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my imagination's running kind of wild here. Look at what we have. I didn't expect to get a diagram or a basic teardown of this, but you can store the cord for charging inside of the body. Love that. Now, if you take this as well with I don't think Honda has any hybrids at this point in time that have an AC outlet, but their upcoming EVs will. In the upcoming EVs, you'll be able to charge this while you're on the go, which is pretty cool. You just plug it into your car. And look at all this. This is what I'm seeing. Look at all this extra space for additional battery. I wonder if they've considered that. If you can stack some batteries on this guy and make it twice the range, give it 25 miles of range at that point. You could put 2 more batteries on here and give us about 60-70 miles of range. All right, let's look at these tires. I don't even think this is air. This looks like just to be a rubber tread here. I don't know what we have for suspension at all, if there is any suspension, but the seat has suspension, as you can see a little bit here from the looks of it. But better look at the headlight. Just different angles of this guy. There's the hub, it looks like a hub motor inside the front wheel. Simple button here to turn the bike on. I know I'm looking at a digital render, but the build quality on this I expect to far exceed a lot of if not all of the Chinese e-bikes that I get in on the channel. Yeah, just the sophistication of the seat here looks pretty nice. All right, yes, and with this thing being mostly white, you guys have already seen, you can put your favorite stickers on here, customize this however you want. Hey, what was that? Did we get any? What am I missing here? Oh, wheel release. Okay, so here's the lever to fold this wheel back into the body. That's pretty epic. They're advertising this for students for sure, as well as city people. I mean, it has State University there. And let me know what kind of design you would be put. I saw HPD in there as well. Quick little shout out to Honda Performance Development. But yeah, look at that. This is probably in the back of a Civic or something. You can just throw it in there. It weighs only 40 or so pounds. And yeah, you can put it in your room. It doesn't take up any room. It's like, that's the thing with these e-bikes that I have, guys. Some of them fold in half, but they're still very difficult to move around, even if they're 50 pounds or 70 pounds. Like, they fold, but I feel like the folding is more of a gimmick than anything, in my opinion. So Honda has something really special, something unique here. They got the brand power. They got the build quality. They have the nostalgia to it as well, being a modern interpretation of the MotoCompo. There's a good chance I'll be riding this MotoCompacto here this fall, so make sure you subscribe for my hands-on impressions of it. I will be getting one of these. I thought it was going to cost a lot more, to be honest. I thought Honda's going to charge $2-3 grand for an entry-level mobility device, but I was expecting also more specs. But since the specs are so meager, Honda knows, okay, well, we're going to charge $1,000 for it and see how well it does. But with the design, this thing is going to kick serious ass, and I got to cut myself off before I get too excited, and I'm probably going to have dreams of this tonight because I've always wanted the Motocompo. Now we have the MotoCompacto, a modern interpretation of it that, you know, I can bring inside my house and run around inside my house if I want to, because it doesn't spew any exhaust fumes like the old little MotoCompacto. Anyways, thanks guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great one, and peace.